I used to love this makeup, but I absolutely abandoned them. Let's find out why. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video, we are taking a look back at some old holy grails, some old favorites, makeup that I really did love, but for some reason, I'm just not using it anymore. Every so often, I get new makeup fatigue. I get really overwhelmed with new makeup launches, and I feel like this is a really therapeutic exercise. So if diving into nothing new sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. Just before we get started, this morning when I was just putting a few little waves through my hair, I actually burnt my face. I have literally not burnt my face with an instrument since I used to iron my own hair with an actual iron. It's really sore. And also, I've got a little rosacea pimple that started to come up, but because I can identify it now, I popped some azelaic acid on yesterday and it seems to have done the trick, so it's not too bad. But for that reason, I'm probably going to skip the highlighter, but we'll see. So we're going to start with primer because I don't have any eyebrow products. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. I'm not really a big fan of primers at all, but I really enjoyed this. And to be honest, I feel like I need something like this on my skin today. So this claims to be an ultra blurring silicone-free primer. It's packed with blurring polymers that instantly control excess oil, smooth texture, and blurs your pores. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth it across my pores and across my nose. And do you know, I really loved this when it first came out. It's one of the best primers I've ever used, but because I don't use primers regularly, I don't really get the benefit of it. But in times like this, when my skin isn't looking the best, this is just going to give me a nice blurred, soft, smoothed out finish to the skin. And there's no fragrance to this at all. I feel like the primer does mattify your skin, but it's really soft. So it does have that soft focus finish to the skin rather than super matte, because if it was super matte, I would hate that. I think we're going to work on the complexion first today. I don't know why, but for the last few videos, I've been doing my complexion first. Maybe it's just a phase I'm going through, but we're going to stick to it and we're going to go in with some concealer. I picked the Revlon Colorstay Full Coverage Concealer. I went through a phase of using nothing but this, but I've not used it in so long, and I don't know why. This is in the shade Light Medium, and it is quite light actually, isn't it? I hope it's not going to be too bright. I know this is very full coverage from what I can remember, so I'm only going to go in a little bit lightly, and I'm just going to blend it out with my BK Beauty A506 brush. And yeah, you can see how full coverage that is as soon as you start blending. It doesn't seem to want to blend out very well. Why is that? Is it my brush? I've washed my brushes. Is it still wet? I don't know. Let me try a different brush. I'm just going to try one of my other BK Beauty brushes. It's the same one, just bigger. And that's blending out a bit better. I think my brush was still a little bit wet. Honestly, washing and drying makeup brushes is probably the worst chore in the world. I hate it. That's blending out better. Let's pop a little bit over here. I don't care for this shade on me. It definitely is full coverage, that's for sure. It looks decent. It looks decent. I might build that up in a little while, but that's okay. I'm not loving it as much as I did, but it still looks okay. The foundation that I've chosen is a foundation that I truly fell in love with when I tried it, but I haven't used this in months and months, and it's the Morphe Lightform foundation. I really did adore this when it was released, and I thought that this was a complete dupe for the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. So I have this in the shade Medium 8N. I'm hoping that the shade will actually suit me. I think I tested this in the winter. There's the shade 8N. Might be a bit light, but I'm sure we can make it work. And it claims to be a weightless, long-wearing foundation, giving medium buildable coverage. This retails for €23. I've just popped some onto the back of my hand, and I'm taking my BK Beauty A101 brush, and I'm just going to push it into the skin here. Let's hope that this shade works with me. I haven't used this foundation in so long. Oh my gosh, I hope that I still love it like I did. Today is a tough time to test any kind of makeup, I think, because I'm not happy with how my skin looks. I feel like nothing looks great. Okay, so that's one really light layer. I feel like I'm trying a brand new foundation here. I genuinely do. So I'd say that this coverage is a satin finish. Looks really, really natural on my skin. Let's go in on the other side because that's not as problematic. So this is the side with my lovely burn. So we'll just tap it in. Oh, that's covered really well, hasn't it? Definitely describe this as a satin. It really does just smooth my skin out. But I remember this finish from this foundation. It really is extremely beautiful. It's not sitting into any of my lines. So yeah, I think that looks really, really nice. I'm happy with that. I think the shade is slightly off at the moment, but I do have a tan, but we're going to bronze up a little bit now. I'm glad I pulled that out again. We're going to go in with a bit of bronzer now, and we're going to use this from Rare Beauty. This used to be my holy grail bronzer, and I still adore it, but I never use it because other bronzers have kind of taken its place. So the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, I really like the Merit bronzer as well. And I guess this is more full coverage than what those two are. And I just have not been using it at all. That's the thing about this bronzer. It is very, very warm. So this is the shade Always Sunny. So I'm going to blend this out with my A507. So I'll just pop this straight on the cheek for you to see. Now, I'm not going to go crazy because this has serious pigment to it, but it blends like a dream. It really, really does. I kind of find myself using this on and off when I remember it, but it was truly a holy grail to me. It really was. Not sure how this is going to go on over my little burn. Seriously, what 42-year-old burns their face with their curlers? Seriously. And you can see when it's blended out, it's not horrifically warm. Oh, it's so pretty that. It really is a beautiful formula. Put a little bit around here. I feel like this is just a great shade for bringing a little bit of definition back to your complexion. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that some love today because I really did love this so much. An absolutely beautiful product. So we're actually sticking with Rare Beauty for blush, and we're going to go in with this. This is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush. I think I reviewed it a few months ago, and I really did love it when I tried it. But if you are a makeup lover, you'll know that the blush category has been off the scale this year, and there's been so many incredible blushes released. And this has been forgotten in my drawer, which is appalling really, because this definitely made my favorites list for the month that I tried it. So I have this in the shade Hope, which is one of my all-time favorite Rare Beauty shades. This feels stunning. It feels like velvet. So this claims to deliver a weightless, smooth matte finish. It's buildable and it's water, sweat and humidity resistant. And I thought that this would be a great blush to use today, especially because of my cheeks. So the first thing that I'm going to do before I go in with the blush, this Lisa Eldridge pencil has been an absolute blessing for my rosacea breakouts because I can really pinpoint where to conceal. So I'm going to use my BK Beauty 109 brush. So I'm just going to tap that. And I'm going to be really careful around my rosacea. And because it's a soft matte blush, it shouldn't emphasize my problematic areas. Whereas if I went in with something glowy, yeah, that wouldn't look great. That really is so blurring and so pretty. So this blush retails for about €30. Now you see, that doesn't look bad at all over my rosacea, does it? This is perfect because it's not flat. In and it's just really, really blurring. It still has a little bit of luminosity to it. I think it's really, really pretty. Today I've just prepped my eyes with a little bit of concealer, and on the eyes we're going to go in with a palette that was an absolute favourite of mine, but it's just been sat in the back of my drawer, and it's this one from Too Faced. This is the Natural Nudes. This has definitely seen better days. I at one point was using this every single day, but I kind of stopped using palettes as much as what I did. For someone like me who likes classic eyeshadow, this is literally perfect. I'll start over here with the shade Warm Rose. That is so pretty, and just using my BK Beauty A503. So it has a mixture of mattes, satins, beautiful, beautiful standout shimmers. But I used to use this for my everyday makeup. I would just go in with either one of the mattes or one of the shimmers all over, and it would be perfect. And they blend really, really beautifully. It's a little bit more expensive, 56 euros. That's a little bit pricey. I don't think I'd pay that again for it. Although it's a really good palette and the formulas are stunning, they really are good. I mean, you're talking Natasha Denona prices there. And although these are gorgeous, I don't know if I'd choose it over my Natasha Denona. If this is your main palette and you're going to use it in the day, you're going to use it in the night as well, then I think it's worth it. I think that it's something that everybody could get something out of. I think it would appeal to the majority of people, and I think that's why this palette works. And you can see how easily these are applying and blending out. You know, they don't require any work at all. Let's take a bit of cocoa on the lash line a little bit. And I'm using my BK Beauty 209 for that. I mean, they are very, very creamy. I forgot how creamy they were. Actually, I really did. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'd forgotten how nice these were actually. Oh my gosh, they're blending so gorgeously. Okay, let me show you a few of these shimmers. Rose Gold. That is Shimmering Pearl. This was always my favourite. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. And that is Sparkling Sand at the bottom. I think we're going to have to go in with that, you know. Right, I'm going to go in with Sparkling Sand all over the lid. And that's with no eyeshadow primer. Imagine if I did have an eyeshadow primer on, how much that would pop. Okay, I'm going to take back what I said about it not being worth 56 euros. It is. It definitely is. Like, that would make such an incredible one and done shadow. I'm just going to use my BK Beauty N12 brush, and I'm going to go in with Warm Rose, which is the first shade that I went in with. And I'm just going to bring that underneath the lash line. I'm going to go in with the deepest brown in the pan, the broken one down at the bottom. And I'm just going to take my BK Beauty 210. I'm just going to bring it a little bit under the lash line and just out a little bit. This really is such a versatile palette. I think I've used it twice over the last 2 years. I'm absolutely delighted today. Absolutely delighted. So yes, if you are like me, if you like classic eyeshadow, if you want an everyday eyeshadow palette that has the most incredible formulas, who'd have thought this has just been sat in my drawer? I feel a bit embarrassed about that actually. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. My favourite mascaras do come from the drugstore. However, when I was going through my mascaras, I really wanted to find something that it was high-end, because I feel like I really abandon that area of my drawer. But there was one mascara that I tried, I think it was last year, and I really loved it, but because I love my drugstore mascaras, I never pick it up. It's this one from Benefit, the Benefit FanFest mascara. So that's how it looks. It has a curved brush, and honestly, curved brushes are not really my favourite thing in the world. So I'm going to pop this on, and then I'm going to tell you about this mascara while I'm putting it on, because you know I can't talk and do my mascara at the same time. So this mascara retails for about 30 euros. So as the name would suggest, this fans out your lashes. It claims to be a volumizing, long wear, smudge-proof, water-resistant and clump-free formula. I had 100% forgotten how volumizing and dramatic this makes your lashes. I remember loving this. I do. I remember thinking this is one of the best mascaras that I've ever tried, and it's definitely my favorite Benefit mascara. I think I've tried all of the Benefit mascaras apart from the latest one because everybody said it was rubbish, so I didn't even bother buying it. It's extremely volumizing. I don't usually get this much volume in my lashes. I think it's definitely more volumizing than lengthening, and it's not a mascara that I would use on an everyday basis because I don't really go for this much drama on a day-to-day. But if I'm going out somewhere, for sure. I'm so glad I got that out again. Seriously. I was going through my lip liners, and there's so many lip liners that I've abandoned, again, because I use so much drugstore when it comes to this category. But there was a lip liner that I reviewed. It was a good few months ago now, and it's from a brand called the Natural Collection, and I don't think you can get these outside of UK and Ireland. Correct me if I'm wrong. They produce the most inexpensive makeup, and I used to buy it when I was a kid. Well, when I was a kid, I mean when I was a teenager, but they've made a little bit of a comeback in 2025. So I think this cost me about €3, and this is the shade Cherry Mahogany. And to me, it just looks like the perfect nude lip liner. So we're going to pop a little bit of this on. It feels really creamy. You know, some lip liners just feel really dry on the lips. This does not. That is one of the creamiest lip liners I've ever used. I'm not even joking. I'm going to put this back in my top drawer now. €3? Seriously? Wow. So I've got a funny one for lipstick because I was recently asked if I could do a video on Kiko Milano, and I replied that I've never tried anything from the brand because I didn't think I had. But then I was going through my lipstick drawer and I found a lipstick from Kiko Milano, and then it brought back the memory that I really loved this lipstick. So this is the Fusion lipstick in the shade 404 Rosy Biscuit. And it is just that beautiful rosy tone. Oh, it's so stunning. I'd say this is somewhere between a hydrating shine lipstick and a satin lipstick. I love that combo. Oh my gosh. That lipstick cost me €5. Wow, that is gorgeous. Okay, I am actually really liking my makeup today. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. It is. It is. The only thing that I'm not loving about my face today is my under eyes. I think the shade is throwing me off of the Revlon. I am going to go in with some powder, but before I do, I'm going to use some setting spray. So I'm going to go in with this from e.l.f. This is the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. I used to love this, and it feels really nostalgic pulling it out. I love the smell of it. So it has a little ball inside. That feels so good. That mister is divine. It really is. It claims up to 16 hours of wear. So I will actually pin in the comments how this is done today. But I wanted to use that before I go in with powder. So I'm only going to powder my under eyes today. And I'm going in with a loose powder that is pretty new to me. But let me tell you why I'm using this. This is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder. So I've been on a bit of a mission recently to find a replacement for my Givenchy loose powder. And I bought this and I was loving this so much. But then, would you believe, 2 drugstore powders literally won my heart. So the L'Oreal Blurfection powder and the Wet n Wild loose powder in soft pink. And because I found them, I just didn't use this at all. So although this is pretty new to me, I've abandoned it already. And that's atrocious. So we're going to use it today and see how I'm liking it in comparison to my new drugstore favourites. So I have this in the shade Neutral Light, and it's just a translucent powder. And I'm just taking my old Morphe brush. Oh man, that has improved my eyes so much. Oh wow, look at that. This is why it's so important for me to do these videos. This retails for about €40, and this is a talc-free Pro Performance loose powder that sets makeup for up to 12 hours. It smooths the complexion with a natural finish. Honestly, look at how much that just blurred and set my under eyes. Okay. I really wasn't liking my under eyes until I put that powder on, and now I feel like it saved it. Absolutely beautiful, and would hand on my heart recommend this, and I'm definitely going to have to start using it again because look at my under eyes. Wow. I always feel happy once I've done these videos, but I feel sad as well. Sad because I've got so much makeup that just doesn't get the love, but that's why I promise to keep doing these videos, not just for me, but for you as well, to hopefully inspire you to go back into your collection and find some of your old holy grails or just makeup that has gone by the wayside for one reason or another. I challenge you to go through your makeup collection, your drawers, your desk, and have a look and see what you've got in there, because I honestly think you might be surprised. If you do manage to go through your collection, come back and let me know, what makeup have you forgotten about recently that you have fallen back in love with? Let us know everything down in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.